What up? I'm back. 1043, February 19th, on a Monday. On a Monday. I don't I don't really know when the last time I talked. Like I said, it's life is I get lost. From time to time. Not lost in the sense of like not finding myself or like losing myself, but like I get lost in I hate to say universes or realities, but it's like what's real? Like what's really real? And it's kind of confusing because there's tangible ideas, and all those tangible ideas is a box from really your oldest memories. And so, like, from the time that I was little, it's been so much, 99% of like who I thought I was, or ideas, and even if like, and this sounds stupid, even if I didn't believe any of it, I didn't have the strength to confirm that. It was just like, this makes no sense. Like, there has to be another way, but I'm just not capable of it. The makeup of me as a person, there's all these rules and regulations, and like the way that the blood flows and air works, like tangible. Like everything was kind of tilted on tangibleness. And now I'm like, nothing ultimately stands on tangibleness. It does. It really does, but there's a whole nother reality where there's tangible things, but now tangible things have multiple big grandiose amount of information behind it that obtains like feelings and energy and ideas and endless possibilities and reasons for why that thing is what it is, even though like in the 3D you perceive it as this and you perceive it as that, like a very limited understanding, but it's so much bigger. Dude, it's everything. And I get lost in that concept sometimes because other people don't perceive the things like I do now, like that. And I've kind of always seen it like that. And I just never was confident in myself to like stand in that. To stand in that. And music messed up. It's a good song, but it's not. Yeah, it's like the tangibleness of that. And so like really like everything I just talked about is probably really confusing. And semi-embarrassing because I had somebody tell me the other day, like, you gotta talk to me like a child, bro, because the things that you talk about, like, I don't understand them. And I'm like, I'm trying to explain to him I'm like, dude, I'm trying to like just talk about like living in the now. And I tried to break down the concept of like living in the now, and what it means, and the totality of it. And at the basic understanding, like when the box that you create is the now, the one that's real, like you have to act at base level. You can't be looking in the past. You can't be really planning for the future. Um, because you're acting. And thinking is an action step. Planning is an action step. But I'm talking more on the sense of like physical action. Because physical action is breath, right? So you're focusing on almost the simplest things, even though it's the most complex. We think that we take breathing for granted. And yet, if you didn't breathe, like, you wouldn't even exist, you wouldn't be. So, like, in one instance, I've brought this up before, and people are like, Cody, you're just taking it too far to the extreme. I'm going, I get it. I get it. But the idea that you're not even capable of being grateful for the breath that you have every second shows me, and it should show you, that you aren't grateful for the existence of you. Even just in a thought, even in the simplest thought process of thank you for breath. And the moment that you can truly just stop and appreciate the fact of a breath, and truly appreciate it more than you've ever appreciated it. Like, that's a good start. Just to acknowledge and to be grateful for the fact that you're alive right now. And at the simplest makeup is oxygen. Without it, you are dead. Without oxygen, you do not exist. And there is an idea that I just thought about, was like, did you ever even exist at all? Like, the moment your breath is gone, like, did you even ever exist at all? Because, like, that is the finality of it. It doesn't matter. Did you even exist? Once you are gone, you're gone. Now, the reality of it would be like if you was here and then you understood, then other people would understand that you existed. But whatever, we're not talking about that. But I'm just talking about the finality of life and death. And, well, the finality would be death, technically. But in one instance, life itself is a finality until death, and then they opposites and switch. But because once you're in death, in your life would it be a finality because it's over and it's done. But and you're in death. Just depends on how you perceive it, I guess. Each thing is a finality of the other. And like I said, concepts that I talk about like that, I understand people can't grasp them because those are two words. Life and death, and then from my perspective, it's a universe of infinite possibilities to even describe many different scenarios, infinite number of scenarios, and on how I could subscribe life and subscribe death. And that's just kind of like, it's the overthinking concept, I guess. But like in all reality, like it's infinite possibilities in everything that you do. So sometimes someone asked me today, like, do you overthink a lot? And like, I said yes, but like in all reality, I don't perceive it as overthinking. Now, the way that we talked about it today was thinking about everything in a reason of why or why not to do something. And we're talking about divergence and another word. And Mostly, he was just explaining like if you say no to anything, you're the opposite of divergent. Like, and I was listening to it, but in one concept, like I still don't understand it because then it comes to the yes man idea. We're like, you have to say yes to everything, and I'm going, no, I don't want to fucking do it. Like I really don't. Like there's no idea that I want to do it. And then like kind of in the context of what we were talking about, it was almost like he was saying like, well, you have to do it. And that's kind of the way I was picking up what he was putting down. I'm like, so if someone gives me an idea, like it would be an idea for them, and then I can't even choose not to do it because ultimately they're telling me that that's the next path for me, but also at the same time telling me I have to do it that way, and I'm going, no, like in all reality I've broke it down because of the overthinking, going, is it something that I even want to do? And I'm going, no. And then breaking down the concept of like why I don't want to do it, and being okay with that because of this universal idea of how big and vast I look at everything, going, is this like on the path of me right now? Like, is it going to be beneficial? Like, is it what I want to do? And I'm going, no. And like in my head, I'm trying to explain not wanting to do something. Do I need to do it? That's a different question. Man, it's so confusing sometimes. Because that's what I told him. I was like, I'm trying to look at things and make sure that I'm not, because somebody suggested something else and I have a rebellious energy in me and I got to do it my way or whatever. And I'm not really that, like, whatever. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people, and especially to him. It's like I have intuition and feelings, and they're like, no. They're like, no. Like, it's not your path. Like, you could literally go your whole life without having to do that one act. You don't even need a rhyme or reason. You know all the rhyme and reasons why you would do it or not do it, and you don't have to. And sometimes I feel shitty in that because it's that concept of a people pleasing or wanting to do it like somebody else or something. And it's like, no. And this is like a real wraparound, talking in circles type of idea right now. Because like, there's just part of me that doesn't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to do that. Would it be beneficial? Sure. Would I gain skill? Sure. Would I gain knowledge? Sure. But at the same time, like, do I want to take the time to do that? No. Is it going to be something I'm going to do for the rest of my life? No. So why do it at all? And that's a kind of shitty way, because then like you're going to gain experience, you're going to gain wisdom and stuff. But it's like, man, I only have a finite amount of time, and I'm not saying I won't ever do it, but like, it's going to take me a minute to justify it, and then at the end of the day, it's not about that. I don't live my life that way. I live my life based on feelings, based on intuition, and all those things are wrapped up in a future plan of me that's already, I should say, dictated or controlled, or like a path that I don't know where that path is going, but I do trust myself, and I trust my intuition, I trust my emotion, because those things to me are me, meaning they're the whole makeup of me and why I choose to do what I do. and they neglect external validation, external influence, and why and how I do things for the most part. Especially when it comes to me, and it only truly involves me doing actions. And I talk a lot about. I don't talk about money too much, other than it just seems like everyone's always about money. And we had this conversation today, and my buddy was like, "Well, you need to do things ultimately for money, like your art and all this stuff, like social media and the way you use it. Like you have to start doing it purposely to make money." And I'm like, I get it, man. I get it, and I'm trying to perceive it in a way where I shape it that way, or I push it that way, and it's just like, it just doesn't make fucking sense to me, man. Like, I'm trying to, like, bend on this, and it's just like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, and I trust that. I trust that it don't fucking make sense, because, like, in order for something like that to make sense to me, all the other parts would have to make sense, and it doesn't. It doesn't. And I told him at one point, I was like, hey, like, if I do it that way, if I start changing the way I do content, if I start doing this, like, it literally defeats the fucking purpose of what I'm doing. Like, and I said, sell my soul. And he's like, well, that's, you know, he kind of like, well, you're not selling your soul. And I'm like, well, from my perspective, I am. Because if I'm not being me, then it's like, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And it's hard to explain whom I am and why it is that I do things, because it is regular, it's natural, it's accepted by me, and that's all that fucking matters. And if my ultimate goal is to, we kind of talked about this too, like, are you looking to surrender to the universe and be taken care of by that, or are you looking to make money, like yourself? And I told him, I was like, I'm not trying to force anything involved in that concept or that idea, because, like, all my needs are met. And it was so funny, because, like, I get fed by the universe all the time, you know, and by just being me. And so, like I said, my needs get met. I it's just so, it's a weird concept to not focus on anything or force anything, really, and just surrender to everything else. And that's what I do, and that's what I'm doing. And like I said, it's really hard. It's really hard when no one else is doing it to the capacity of me. And then, like, it would almost be like a relationship. And say you had a relationship with an invisible thing. Like, most people would think you're crazy, right? If you have a relationship with something that doesn't exist from everybody else's perspective. And that's kind of literally what I do. Like, I literally have a relationship with invisible things, invisible ideas, not tangible per se. I'm best friends with Mama Nature. Like, I trust that the wind is gonna blow. You know, that's where I put my faith. I trust that waterfront falls from the sky. That's where I put my faith. I trust that a tree will grow. I trust that a tree will fall. I trust that a bird will sing. I trust that an ant will be an ant. And I trust that I'll get breath until I don't. And so I kind of live in that realm of trusting what is and what will be. And in the trust of that, I'm trusting all these everything outside of me, that it will be that, and that I don't have any power, I don't have any influence in controlling anything at all outside of me. Um, Especially when it comes to humans, and when it comes to animals, I can manipulate and trick. But that's not even control at all, because the other person or whatever has to bend the knee to you. And in doing so, it's still a free will act. Man, which is changing things for me too. Because then I can just say or be or do whatever the fuck that I want, technically. And even in the idea of using manipulation, or this, or shame, or guilt, then like it's still the other person who has to cater to that or fall prey to that or accept the shame and guilt that I put on them as their own to do an act that I shame and guilt them for. So that, honestly, that's the left-handed path concept. And then that's where, like, if you're truly on the left-handed path and you understand that concept, then I could go manipulate, I could force, I could blackmail, and then the choice is yours, right? The choice is yours. And if you accept my blackmail, then like that's your choice. Or you can fight it and go against it, and then I just put you in the corner to accept whatever acts that you did and use it against you as blackmail, which is just shitty. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care enough about people what they can give me to do that. So I never, the concept of me blackmailing somebody just seems like a lot of fucking work, man. Seems like a gamble. And even though, like, you know the makeup of humans, and 99.9% of the people in the world are gonna cave to blackmail because of their own shame and guilt, whatever, or this or that. Let's have a path. I don't prefer it. I don't prefer it at all. Because at the end of the day, it's just for weak people. The left-handed path is for weak individuals that don't have it's users. And it doesn't mean I don't use people, or I haven't, or in some perspective I do, for sure. For sure. For sure. And then the idea of like being selfish, like, and trying to, like, I talked to somebody today about it. I was like, dude, I need a lot of me time. For some reason, I've just always been this way. I need a lot of time to like go recharge and be by myself. Mostly because I've never, like, people are cool and stuff, but I don't know, man. It's just me, and it's not negative, and I'm not running from people. I just, for some reason, I just need me time. Like silence, or like not able or having to like neglect. I keep saying like, and it's pissing me off. But I need time to not have to try and diffuse other people's energy, or not change my energy for them. And I'm still don't really understand how to not focus on other people first. I'm still having that concept with, like, what is it in the moment do I really want? when I'm with other people, and then how to verbalize that. Because in most scenarios, like it doesn't, it is that, right? I am doing the highest want, and then it would only be like in one scenario where I'm questioning that. I think in every other scenario when I'm with people, business settings, like the highest want is already there. Communication with people that I'm, yeah, just talking to, doing art with, like the highest want is there. So that makes it cool for me. So then I only really need to work on one aspect of like my wants and desires, which is what I've been trying to focus on to make sure that all the rest of the time I am doing such in the highest capacity of me, and I am. And then the only thing, which is the longest stain that I have, and the longest thing I've been working on, is like relationships, like maybe long-term relationships, or ideas of that mother wound, because the mother wound for me incorporates so much. The dad wound kind of doesn't really exist to me. It does, but at the end of the day, it's not as substantial as I think that other people could maybe perceive it. Because for me, that's not a reality. It just doesn't make sense. I've looked at it and looked at it to try and see like how many daddy issues that I had, and it's like, dude, I honestly I don't know, because it's almost like I've talked about this, like the lack of someone in your life sometimes could be more positive than what the world's telling you that you needed. And it doesn't mean I didn't need it in the day when I was young, when I was a fucking child. But I was able to like gravitate towards other parental figures, male dad type figures my whole life, that at some point I was just like, I didn't need one to be consistent with me technically, because I could just roll through cycles, take what I needed, learn from it, and then move on to the next one. And then, like I said, I just pick and choose what it meant to be a good dad, right? I was given a lot of ideas of what not to be. And then I gained a lot of information of positive things in other people that I should be or could be, or what is the best way, or just positive things. And then at some point just mash everything together, and that's the type of dad that I want to be for myself. And then I can start implementing those actions, and then I have been, and then seeing what works, what's positive, what's negative, like what's going too easy, you know, what's a healthy amount of push, what's not. And so like then, I saw a statement today where it talked about like, what if, or why is it that when people don't talk to their adult people don't talk to their adult parents anymore, they cut them off, why is everyone like, well, you need to talk to them because you only have one mom and you have one dad? Like, why don't you ever ask, well, what did they do? So, you know, like, it's okay that you're like that, but what did the parents do to cause the kids to not want to talk to them anymore? You know, like, there's the idea again of sometimes it just seems like we pick sides, and And maybe from one aspect, the concept of you have one mom and you have one dad. And I tell people this all the time, because I do use that concept. I'll be like, you need to go hang out with your mom, you need to go hang out with your dad, because like they could be gone in a second, right? And you're gonna regret that. And so I do tell people that all the time. Go, because like I do have a regret, I guess. Like my mom's gone, so like any wrong, like that I would have needed to right or could regret, like I don't have that chance anymore. I don't dwell on that at all. I get past that because I understood, like, logically that's stupid, because there's nothing that I can do to go right a wrong, right? At least to that person, because they're gone. However, I can go forth now and try not to make the same fucking mistakes with my mom, with other people that are here now. I can at least try and not do those things. But as far as me righting wrongs with my mom, it's impossible, right? And I do look at a lot of things where it's like, I grew up and it takes two to tango, but I can look back and yeah, I was part of the problem for sure, but as I get older and I look back at it, it's like, man, it's almost like I came to the epiphany that what if 90% of my trauma wasn't even me. Like, in all aspects, it was caused by external influence, injustice, other people putting trauma on me, or treating me this way, neglecting me, or this or that. And this sounds really, really fucking weird, because at some point you can go, now you're saying that you was never the problem and it was everybody else's fault. And I'm going, no, it's not what I'm saying. In one right, it's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when I was a kid, fuck yeah. When I was a kid, fuck yeah. It wasn't mine to bear. It wasn't my cross to bear. It was put on me. It was forced on me. And then I continued to carry it. And that was my fault. And then I continued to carry it so fucking long that I thought it was me. I thought I was the problem. And I am. But in the right, when it started, as you're a little kid, it's like divorce. It's when your parents get divorced, like, you internalize that you're the fucking problem. And you're not the fucking problem. At no point in time is the kid the fucking problem.
If opposites attract, then why is happiness been running away? Once I get a glimpse, my instincts telling me it's not okay. It's only
at least at the root of the problem. I mean, there's scenarios when the kid's the fucking problem, sure. But what's the root of that? Why is the kid acting that way? So, like, it's the mere reflection of the parents. And so I think, and it's very fucking frustrating, because then, like, you get to my age, you go through a 3-year journey, and, like, you start to break down all this shit, right? All these ideas, all these insecurities, all these understandings, all these beliefs. And, like, in all reality, they were forced on you. You were dipped in the fire and made to believe it. And if you didn't believe it, if you didn't join, if you didn't agree with, then you were bad. You were wrong. You're stupid. You're not smart. That's not how you think. That's not how it works. And so then you just cater to and accept and just hide your true feelings and emotions away. Because if you don't act right, then you're wrong. You're bad. You're a liar. This and that. And so that's where you can feel shitty for a minute. You can be angry too. Like it's okay to be angry about it. And it's okay to have any kind of feelings, really, and because like at the end of the day, like you were born into other people's ways of life, and that's, I think, what always makes you feel so utterly alone in the black sheep, because from the beginning, like, you've always felt different, and you didn't ever truly 100% believe everything that you were told. You just acted like that, but you never truly believed it. And like, so in my concept, it was so easy for me to walk away from a lot of things and ideas, because like I never truly believed it. I never truly drank the Kool-Aid, right? It wasn't in my blood like it's in others, because I was willing day one to go, you know what, I'm gonna go with my true feelings that have always been there, but I just acted like y'all. Because it was easier. That was the easier thing to do. And then me pissed off, sit in the corner with my body like disappointed with me, going like, none of this shit's real. Maybe it's real for y'all, but it's not real for me. And I think about that, like going to family reunions or family outings, family stuff, and I'm sitting in the corner. Like, I don't fucking want to be there. Like, I don't know how to say that any other way. Like, that people would perceive as being good or bad. Like, I get that when I speak it that way, it sounds so mean. Like, it literally sounds so fucking mean. I don't know how else to explain it. Any other way that I explain it is just a lie, other than I didn't want to be with y'all. I don't know how else to fucking explain it. Because it's a totality of like, I'm not you. I don't believe like you. I don't pretend to care like you. I don't try and use shit against people like you. I don't pretend to give and then use that shit against people like you. And like, that's literally all I fucking felt my whole life, for the most part. Like, and it doesn't mean I don't have bonds with those people and I don't love them, but like, in the totality, in the bigger scale of things, that's just how I always felt. Like, because people could use and abuse me, and I'll still sit there and listen to you and love you the same and give you some time. But I'd rather do that with one-on-one people. I can handle that. But I can't handle a group of 30 people that's all thinking different things, and I'm sitting here in the middle of all of this confusion, of all these confused human beings, and I pick up on everyone's energy. It's fucking miserable. That's why I just couldn't deal with family like that, because it was such a lie. Like, really, like, I think that's it for me. It was such a lie. Understanding how they operated and how they worked, and how everyone's talking about everyone, and when some group of people are together, they're talking about the other group of people that aren't there, and then when everyone's there, they're picking somebody else to talk about. And to me, it was so nasty. I think, like, it's always so fucking nasty. And it's fucking embarrassing. This is the only way I can see it. It's like everyone's so worried about everybody else but themselves, and everyone's so judgy. And well, I interpreted it this way, so this is what we believe. I'm going, that's cool, but like at the same time, all you guys do is talk shit about everybody else. Like literally, it's so fucking annoying. I think, to say the least. It's like I spent from 12 to like 5:30 with someone the other day, and honestly, we didn't talk about we hardly ever talk about other people, ever. The only time we talk about other people is when we're talking about like scenarios of how we learn something, or is trying to communicate a scenario to help us grow and to see other perspectives, like while we're talking. But we never really talk about like the acts of other people doing something, going like that's good or bad. Like we don't talk shit about other people. Like I said, we literally like just focus on each other and how we can grow and try and help each other see things from other perspectives. Yeah, so like we're not like, oh, what about her? She did this and she's doing that and she's divorced and she's got 10 boyfriends and he's on drugs and this. None of that shit happens. None of that shit happens. Like I got away from all that bullshit. And like it's so funny, I would go to this place and hang out with this girl, and we would talk all day, and like she helped me grow a lot, right? But and she always gossiped, and like when me and her we would talk, and then like but when other people came in, that's when like all these people just wanted to gossip about other fucking people and shit on other fucking people and what they're doing and just judge them. And like I got up and left one day because like that's all they did instantly. And I was like, man, I don't want any part of this. It's fucking embarrassing. It just makes me uneasy. It's just not a good feeling. It's just negative fucking energy. And now I look at all my relationships and like we tend not to talk about really anything other than us, or whatever we got going on in our lives, and we don't care about the Kardashians, we're not caring about this and that. Like everything is so self-centered, and that's the part that's positive, right? Because I can only correct, I can only grow, I can only look at, honestly, like myself. And I can only change myself. So therefore, I choose to focus on myself, like 99.9% of my life. Going like if I'm not looking at myself, if I'm not questioning myself, if I'm not trying to grow, then like there's nothing else more important than me. And when right people are gonna take that concept as going, oh, he's so selfish, he's this and that. I'm like, no, I'm the only thing that matters. I'm the only thing that I can control. In all reality, it's illogical for me to focus on anybody else other than me. Like it's slow. It makes zero sense because anything outside of you technically have no control over it unless you overpower it and fucking force it. It's like I live in this world. We live in this world. You're in the same world as me, where everyone's focusing literally. This is why no one has power over themselves. It's because everyone's like giving their power away to everyone other than themselves, and they're using their focus, their time, and attention looking outside of themselves to try and control something that they can't. You can't control that fucking tree out there. You can cut it down. So I'm saying you're overpowering it. You take it over something that's not even fucking yours to take. Like you're literally going against the laws of nature. When nature is free and you do not have fucking control over it. And if you do use nature, if you do cut down a tree, and we do, and we use wood, like that is a gift that nature is providing for us. We should be appreciative of it. And it sounds shitty. I mean, it's like I'm using diesel fuel. I should be appreciative of the concept of it coming from the earth. And that gets a little hippie real quick, but you know, I'm trying to stay away from that extreme. But like in all reality, like I said, everything is I like the only thing that you can change is you. And then, like I said, if you choose to be in partnership with somebody, like even then, it's you first. What can I do? How can I compromise? How can I look at this in another perspective? How can I look at this problem that me and my partner are facing? How can I validate and at least understand or try to understand or try to perceive their perspective? And how does it match to mine? And then how can we compromise here? I cannot force an idea on somebody else and then expect them to even be capable of understanding it, let alone executing that. Especially my way. When they're a whole separate individual with a whole previous life experience that makes them do things the way that they do them. It makes them understand the way that they understand it. Their eyes are different, so they see things differently. They feel things differently. And if they can't communicate it to me how it is that they feel, see, and understand in all the other ways, and I'm not willing to listen, or if I'm not capable of expressing and communicating with my partner, business partner, or just whoever's on the other side of the relationship, like how is anything ever going to get done? So it's like learning the skill of communicating with yourself first, and to be able to explain what your feelings are, be able to understand what your feelings are, like what is it that you feel, why do you feel this way, like what is the deep-rooted issue here, and how can I verbalize that and bring that into the tangible world and be able to communicate that to another person in a way that they can understand it and acknowledge it and accept it without me trying to force that on them or manipulate or trick them or change their perspective, but just throwing my perspective out there so they can perceive and take it in for themselves. And then they can also present to me their perspective, and then I can take it in, look at it, and perceive it, so we can make a good judgment together, or a way to move forward together. But in that concept, like, you have to be able to be wrong. You have to be able to be wrong. You have to be able to change. Or to just side shift. Just to move. Just to waver a little bit. And you look at things with, like, you're not supposed to waver, like, don't waver in your faith. I'm like, you need to be able to waver. Meaning, like, you can stand in your faith, you can stand in you're a tree, you're rooted, but you can still sway in the wind. You still sway in the wind. And if you have a partner, like, you need to be able to sway together and move together in unison. Like, I mean, it's a two-person game, and each person has their own skills. And, like, together, you guys have double the skills. You know, if you guys have different skills and stuff, so it's supposed to be a team game, a team sport. And it's actually positive thing to not think the same. It's a positive thing to be different, to think differently, to walk differently, to be different heights, to be from different backgrounds. Because then when you come together, you guys cover so much more ground because you have such a greater knowledge base than two people from the same place. Two people raised the same way. And so, like, really, like, the idea of being equally yoked would be the same goal, you know, the same purpose, the same path. Once I get a glimpse, my instincts telling me it's not okay. It's only putting distance in the love I've been trying to chase. It starts just hurting you until you learn that that's not the case. I mean, you could take it to like same ideology, same ideas. Yeah, that makes it a little bit easier, but it's more about like the same goal of being their highest potential self. Because like in that concept, like, you're not gonna treat somebody like shit. You don't want to treat anybody else like shit because you don't want to treat yourself like shit. You know, like, you're gonna trust yourself, therefore, so you can trust other people, and especially a partner. You know, you want to do better for yourself and your family, and then the other person wants to do better for themselves and their family, your family, whatever. Like, you don't want to hurt somebody else. So, like, you don't want to cheat because you don't want to be cheated on. You know, you don't want to cause someone to be jealous because you don't want to be jealous. You know, someone to cause jealousy over you and all that. And so, like, you just start to look at all these things, and for some reason, like, I feel like I'm just not talking well tonight. But it's like, do unto others the way that you want them to do unto you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Like, that's the concept. And yes, maybe it's harder if you have come from two different religious backgrounds. But at the same time, I would just say that more than likely there's wrong in both religions. So, like, it needs to be hybrid, right? I think everything needs to be in the big scale of humans. We need to go back to the collaborate everything together and become one society, one people, underneath one umbrella of understanding, at least in a freedom understanding of love. And that there's one creator, there's one rain, there's one sun, there's one moon. Like, the simplicity of that concept. And things that we don't really understand, but we do understand how they work. The sun goes up, the sun goes down, the moon goes up, the moon goes down, water falls from the sky, you know, fire is hot. Like, these very simple concepts, and if we can just agree upon those concepts, and for the first time, we do already agree with those. But I think we need to verbalize it in like a communion idea, where we sit down and agree upon some things like that. Just to start the conversation that, wait a minute, all humans agree that the sun is fucking hot. You know, all humans agree that salt water is salty. All humans agree that rain falls from the sky. You know, all humans agree that fire is hot. And I think, as simple as that sounds, when have we ever verbally agreed on anything? Even the common things like that. When? I think we need to verbally put that vibration into the world, where we all sit down and just start from the simplest things. We all agree that without breath, we die. And that we all, as humans, Can't appreciate that. And that we do. And that we all appreciate when we have fucking fresh water. And we all fucking appreciate when we have nutrients to put in our body. And we all can appreciate when we have a roof over our head, or somewhere to sleep, or protection from the heat, or from the cold, or from the rain. We all as people can agree upon these certain concepts, and they're very fucking simple. And like I said, the act of us sitting in a powwow, in a circle, hand in hand, and just agreeing upon these things, we're going to start to understand that we have so much more to be grateful for than time allows us, than society allows us, and the money system allows us to think that we have. And we have so much. All of us. We have bodies and vessels. We have arms and legs and minds and eyes and purpose and imagination and the ability to communicate with each other, the ability to love each other, to feel each other, to hear each other, to sense each other, to smell each other, to taste each other, to be present with each other. We have all these things that we need to just be grateful for. The ability just to feel and then be able to comprehend and explain what it is that we feel, whether physical, whether the wind is blowing on our skin, or us feeling an emotion of love or sadness or joy. And then able to communicate that joy or happiness or a smile or a laugh is positive. Like, there is a reality when what if positive joy, love, and happiness and smiles is fucking evil and wrong. There could be a reality when that is the opposite. Now, that idea sounds stupid to me, but to open the question going, wait a minute, what if smiling is bad? Being angry is good. Being violent is good. Like, what if? And at least to think about that, like in an innocent understanding, I think that frees up a lot of things, because I think that's when we can vote as a people that no, we want to smile, we want to love, we want to hug, like we want the nicer things in life, the happier things in life. Now, nobody really truly wants death all the time, you know. And even serial killers love their mom, you know, or whatever. Like, there's always something that somebody loves, whether it's their weapon of choice or their animal, you know. But all human beings are still. I don't think any human being is unable to love. Now, they may love in a different way than others do. That may not seem practical or different. But I think everyone, at the basic core of them, is still loves something or someone. Whether even in the concept, it could be a drug. They could just love the drug, or they could love sex, or they could love the excitement, or they could love the danger or the risk. Maybe they can't love people, but they love being abused. Like, they love this, they love that, or they perceive that they do, or some kind of concept of love in that. Maybe they've never truly felt what real love is, or unconditional love from a human is, or an act, a free will gift. Maybe they've never been truly given a free will gift of love, or just a free gift. There was no alternative motives involved, you know. And that's kind of why I try and do a lot of stuff that I do. I try to give freely, like no fucking strings attached. Like, I'm never gonna see you again unless I do. But like, this act or this thing that I've done, like, it's just because you fucking deserve it. Because I love you. I don't know you, but you're a human like me, and I love you. Thank you for the moment. that I get to be with you. Whether it's for a second, a minute, an hour, a day, a year. Thank you. Whatever it is. A smile, a glance, a look.
Sick of feeling like my purpose is to try and stay alive. Waiting for my time to flourish. I'm done standing in this line. Dig my way about this grave I dug from years of playing blind. You ask for strength, so the why you expect life is gonna be easy. Ask for peace, but you only know the difference when it start feeling like your world is closing in. You hit the bottom and meet your demons. In the moment you're in hell, but the other side gives it its reason. Hell type of grit slip.
There's an idea, and it kind of sucks. It kind of makes me feel shitty sometimes. We're like, and I told somebody today, I was like, I think it was today, I don't know, I'm just talking. Where it's like, sometimes I feel like I'm not, and this is stupid, because it's not my purpose, technically, to show everybody love, always, and then neglect myself. We did kind of talk about this concept about like self-sacrificing again today. Like, what if I don't want to say hello to you? What if I'm just not in the mood? Like, I'm in my own world today. Like, I walk past you, or I have my headphones in, so I don't even hear you call my name. And that can happen a lot because my headphones are in all the time. And I've thought about this sometimes when that's shitty. You know, I need to be able to hear, right? If someone was to call my name and I just kept walking and they couldn't see that I had headphones in, they could think that I just fucking just straight up peace, you know, like I didn't want to see you. And from my perspective, it's going like, well, I didn't hear you. I didn't know. I didn't see you. My headphones were in. But they could take it as rejection, or I didn't want to see them, or I did see them and I didn't acknowledge that they existed. Type of rejection wound or something. But I'm thinking about it because I sat down at a restaurant the other day and I sat beside this girl, and I asked her what she was eating, and that was about it, right? And then I sat right beside her. I was beside her, but I put my headphones in and I was like fucking having fun eating, you know. And like when I got done, I was like, man, now I feel kind of shitty because I looked at my phone and I went to the bathroom and left my phone there. And then later that night, I looked at my phone and it said hi on my phone screen. And so I was like, I didn't write that. I was like, what if that girl beside me did, right? Because at first I just said hello and like asked her what she was eating, and then I jumped back into my own reality. So I was like, well, fuck. So now maybe this girl thought that she wasn't good enough, or that she wasn't worthy of my time, attention, and focus. And I was just living in my own fucking world, and I wasn't rejecting her. She just sat there. She didn't say anything to me, right? So if she wrote a hi on my phone, like, how am I supposed to know or even see it? I didn't even see it till after she was gone. I didn't even see it till I left the place and went somewhere else. So, you know, I look at these concepts too of like people, like they don't speak their mind and then they get pissed off and butthurt and feel rejected because they didn't speak and they left a hidden signal. You know, they put something on the mirror, you know, and I can only perceive and read it when the fog happens in the mirror, but then at the same time, I don't even know who the fuck wrote it. Because, like, it was in secret, it was in code. I was just supposed to know, and then now it says hi. But, like, how am I even supposed to know who wrote that? Because no one's there by the time that I can even acknowledge it or see it. You know, when I think about that in relationships or people, and it's like, if you never spoke to me and told me your feelings, like, you can't get mad that I'm not a mind reader or that I don't understand your code. You know, it's the concept of, like, flirting or this or that, or, well, he should have known. He would if he wanted to. I'm like, no, he wouldn't. Like, how could I know if you never fucking spoke? You never told me your feelings or what you wanted. maybe that's more so like what you wanted or what you was even thinking. It's like, how can you even feel rejected when you didn't even do anything to get rejected? Like, you rejected yourself by not acting. Like, you were the cause of the rejection. There was never an opportunity to be rejected because you didn't give it the opportunity at all. And that could be me too, right? And that's the concept sometimes, is like, you do things so you don't get hurt, but like, you just got fucking hurt. Like that's the point. Like, it's better to just even take the risk and know than it is to create a scenario where like you're up in the air forever about it and then you are hurt. Like, you're hurt of the what ifs, and the imaginary shit hurts more than the reality of it. It's like, okay, now I know I don't have to like make believe. What if? Or where am I at?
I've been trying to hold tight. Nobody can hear when my soul cries. I just disappear within these walls I created to survive all these long.
And so, like, for me now, it's like I do that. Like, like, some people will call it love bombing. I'm going, no, dude. This like literally lets me know, at least good enough from my part. It's like, if I reach out to you and say I want to do this, I want to paint with you, I want to spend time with you, I want to go out with you, and you don't fucking do anything about it, or you don't respond, like, that's an answer. Yeah, it's an open-ended answer, but in our reality, it's a fucking answer. Is it the right answer? The only answer that I get is that you don't, evidently. And then so I did everything I could do, I put out my side, and so then now I just have to get over that rejection, right? And so it's not so bad, because at least I didn't leave any, I said my piece. Where, like, if you don't say your piece, then you're going to hold that resentment, and at first, you felt rejected, so you're not speaking, like, you literally did it to yourself. And then you sit in that resentment, right? But it's a resentment for yourself. It's not a resentment for others. And then, like, you got to go lay underneath somebody else to get over that, right? And then, but you're still housing the resentment of the previous, because you're still feeling less than, because you never fucking spoke your mind, so you never even know. Where, like, if you was to say this, and this, and then I didn't respond, then at least you said your piece and it was done. You could at least rest assured that there is an answer in that. But if you don't speak your mind, that's when the problem comes. That's why, like, the ability for me to kind of walk away from people is because I say my mind, and then I'm good. Like, it doesn't mean the shit don't hurt. It doesn't mean, but I can get over it now because I've said my piece, and then I'm just gonna assume, I'm gonna take it for face value that you not responding or reaching out or whatever, that's the answer. Whether it's true or not, whatever. Whether the person loves me to death, they just don't know how to say it. It doesn't really matter because it's not tangible. It's imaginary. It's in another realm of existence. It's not in my realm of our co-creation together. And so that's where it doesn't mean I won't hang on forever or have limits or this idea in my head, but I have to keep moving forward because it would be incompetent, it would be stupid, it would be irrational for me to hang on forever for something that's not even being tangible in my reality. It just doesn't make sense. So, like, at some point, like, whatever. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't love that person initially, like the words that I spoke in the beginning. Because I do. It doesn't mean I don't have hope. But I can have hope forever, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to move on. I'm not gonna find another. You know, and then even then, maybe I'll find somebody who can at least communicate back to me their feelings. And I would just have to say that someone that can communicate back their feelings is way better for me, and it's a real relationship, than it would be for someone who can't. That doesn't mean that maybe I love the first person more. But like if they can't communicate, then I have to move on. And like I said, I'll go towards someone who can communicate. So it's not a one-sided fucking relationship where I'm over-giving everything and getting nothing in return. That's just stupid for me. So I will go to another relationship where someone can communicate, where someone can respond, where someone's not juggling multiple people. You know, where someone can see my worth. And it's not about... That's a weird concept too. Because the people that judge you based on like worth or what they perceive to have or don't have, I mean, sometimes, I don't know, man, it's a weird system. I would hate to say it's a false system. I think just the priorities are different. Well, like if someone's judging you based on money or thinking you're a know-it-all, or thinking you're cocky or boastful or a liar, like those are all projections. Meaning that like if you look at people like that, it doesn't mean that they're not those things. But if you perceive them as that, or if you perceive most people as that, then that is just a mere reflection of yourself. Because, and I know this is very truthful. And then in that concept, if someone's projecting those things on you, like then you can take those on, right? So like maybe me in a relationship where I felt so fucking unworthy for some reason, all this shit, but it wasn't, but I didn't. But they made me feel that, meaning that they were projecting on me that subconsciously that I wasn't enough, because I was like, dude, what the fuck? That was what was confusing. Was like one of these relationship ideas things was like I kept feeling like I was unworthy, I wasn't good enough, and I was like, but that's not true. Like every makeup of me tells me otherwise. Like literally. But like in this one scenario, it's like I just kept getting hit with somebody else's projections, and then I kept taking them on, and I was like trying to understand this. It's like there's no fucking way. Like I know who I am, and I'm none of these things. I could perceive, well, maybe I don't have. I get their projections on me. I get their judgment on me. I get it, but it's like, but that's not me, right? Maybe that's what they perceive or see me as at a base level. Look at my vessel, maybe, or what it is that I'm wearing. But it's like, but that's not me. That's not even, I can change that in a second. Like, if you're judging someone based on the clothes that they're wearing, that's the most easy thing in the world to fucking fix. Like that, like, I don't get it. Anyone can change the clothes that they wear. And so, like, to judge somebody based on that just makes zero fucking logical sense to me. Because like they're taking so much information, going like, if he's wearing that, then he's got this, and this, and he don't have this much money, or whatever. And I'm going like, I just don't fucking care. Like I don't care. And it's like the whole point is, you know, if you dress nice, you feel nice. I'm going, not necessarily. No, that's not a true statement. It could be a true statement for some people, but it's not a true statement for all people. At all. Like I was in a blue collared field my whole life. Like there's no point in me fucking dressing nice. Like that's impractical. So it didn't really matter. I didn't care. You know, like we would go to the club Like I worked on maintenance, on the clubs, all the clubs downtown, and so we would go work on clubs and then go fucking party, right when we got done, and get hammered. And it's like I could pick up girls in shit clothes, like literally. And like it had nothing to do with my clothes. Like I knew that concept a long time ago. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with your energy. And like I didn't care. Like they didn't know. They didn't know if I had money or not had money. It didn't fucking matter. It had nothing to do with my clothes. My energy was dominant. My energy was fun. I could have 10 girls dancing on me just because I'm dancing and having fun. It didn't matter what I was wearing. And then so to get judged on what you're wearing, like it just never made sense to me. It just showed me the character of the other person's insecurities.
Chase and start just hurting you until you learn that that's not the case. My family said they miss me, we live in the same house. Homies say they love me, but they ain't even reached out. So I think maybe everyone's going through it themselves. And if they strong enough to fight it, then I should learn that myself. So I keep quiet, wear a smile even though they don't know what's behind it. And when I'm in a better place, I'm sure I'll be reminded of why I shouldn't be. I hate it, but that's how my mind is. But I come to find that everyone's trying to hold tight. Nobody can hear when my soul cries. I just disappear within these walls.
You know, I look at it like now that I've moved to this place, like my room is pretty fucking clean all the time. Like I don't fuck with anything. Like I clean up and it stays pretty fucking clean. My truck's still a little crazy. My art room is mediocre in cleanness. There's a little chaos in it. Because like in the act of creation, like it's pretty unstructured. I don't know, just the way it works, it just stuff goes everywhere, kind of sort of. So like I have 3 different realities. Like one, my truck is still kind of chaotic in nature. My bedroom is clean, and then my art room is like in between, you know. So like I have 3 different realities of like my personalities and like what it is that I want for each individual area. And I'm okay with that. You know, I mean, I can see a reality when it's 2 separate individuals. Like obviously you need to keep all your shit in check, right? If you guys are sharing a space. It would just make sense to take care of your own shit and keep it in a stationary place, right? And then that way the other person themselves could have their space and their stuff in the way that they want it, and so it doesn't clash per se. So that's where I could say, like, you know, you would need to keep a clean house, right? Because you guys are sharing that common space. I remember when I lived with 2 other guys, like we would clean up after ourselves. It didn't mean like sometimes they wouldn't leave shit out for the night or whatever, but usually like when I cook, like what you do in your bedroom is fine, whatever. But like in the common areas, we made sure to like try and keep the common area clean, meaning like you just use what you use and then you put it back. You know, you clean up after yourself, throw trash away for yourself. But there was 3 of us, and 2 of us did it, but we lived together before, and just like a mutual respect and agreement to each other. And the 3rd one would just leave shit out like everywhere, and so like we would just like see how long it would be left out, and but we would keep our stuff and just throw our stuff away and try and be respectful to each other, you know. And so it just makes things a little bit easier that way. Like you both share responsibilities of like maintaining yourself and the things that you touch and create. Like it just makes sense. To not expect somebody else to clean up your mess, that doesn't make sense. To expect somebody else to clean up after you just doesn't make sense. That's not a fucking reality. I don't know what reality people come from where other people are supposed to clean up your mess.
away. Once I get a glimpse, my instincts telling me it's not okay. It's only putting distance in the love I've been trying to chase. It starts just hurting you until you learn that that's not the case.
And like, so even for me, it's like I don't ever expect anyone to clean up my mess. Really.
Going through it themselves, and if they strong enough to fight it, then I should learn that myself. So I keep quiet, wear a smile, even though they don't know what's behind
It's my mess.
And when I'm in a better place, I'm sure I'll be reminded of why I shouldn't be. I hate it, but that's how my mind is. But I come to find that everyone's trying to hold.
But then also, like I said, if it's two people co-creating together, then it's like, now it's, I'm just gonna clean up my mess and keep mine clean, and I expect you to do the same on your side.
So I promise that I'ma hold tight, even if it can't hear when my soul cries. I just disappear into these walls I created to survive all these long nights. I'm so tired. All my energy been stolen from this cold life. Wonder what would happen if I don't.
But yeah, man, I don't know. This journey is fun. The journey is fun, and like even in the glimpses of minutes of like this sucks, or I'm bored, or what next, or am I doing enough, or am I enough? Like in all reality, like those questions aren't real. They're not even real questions. They're just questions that like that they're fake questions. And that's where I get to the point sometimes where like people ask me that those questions or something like that. Like, and I made a post the other day was like, are you doing enough, or you're not doing enough, or you know, and that's the concept. So like, could you be doing more? And I think there's a concept where you could always technically do more. Technically, like that's a something, right? I think there's a potential. Maybe it's not to do more, but you could always be doing something different. Maybe that's the right answer for that. It's not about doing more, but you could be acting different than what you're acting now. Now, to even live in that question, I think it's just nothing but negative. But okay, it's not. You should, yeah, it's not. It's not negative completely, because I think for me it has been deemed as that. But then like right now that I'm speaking on that, maybe I need to change some things. Maybe I need to physically write lists down of things that I need to do, or should do, or can do, or an idea of something to push me in a positive way. Maybe something that I've been prolonging, putting off. Maybe just things that So maybe I just need to sit down and make a tangible list of things. And then start taking them off, just knocking them out. Because like I said, sometimes I talk about things in such a totality of like not planning. I don't plan anything. I just plan in my head. And that's stupid. So I think maybe everyone's going through it themselves, and if they're strong enough to fight it, then I should learn that myself. So I keep quiet. Or maybe it's a limitation. Like, so if I don't, so like if I'm doing things the way that I'm doing them now, maybe the act of me not writing stuff down and planning, like me saying I won't do that, or I'm not making the time to do that, is keeping me in another box, right? Because like you're always in a box no matter what. Like that's the thing. It's like, but like how does your box look? Is your box pretty big? Is it small box? Is there something you could do to... Well, this is crazy. When you talk about a box, you tend to talk about or perceive, or I'm perceiving a box as like a limiting idea, right? You're limiting yourself because it's a box. You're looking at like an Amazon box. It's only so big. Like a house is only so big. It's just a box. Like, what's the biggest box you've ever seen? Like a one idea. You could say, I live in the box of the universe, or the earth, or the universe, which would make the box even bigger. So, like, I live in a box of infinite possibilities. It's still a box, and the only limit is the lack thereof, technically, right? If I live in a box of infinite possibilities, and the box itself is infinite in size. So maybe that's the way I need to look at it. My box is an infinite size box, meaning at any point in time, there's any potential idea or any potential direction that I can walk in or go in or go towards. And so maybe if I start to perceive that that's my box, and then in all reality, in the infinite idea of boxes, then everything is technically part of that box. And I don't look at any idea or anything as a smaller box, because I only look at one box, and that's the infinite possibility box, which kind of takes away rationale of like some things being stupid or not stupid, because in any time an idea that could be stupid in the past, now with new understanding and new potential, new skills, the old box that you thought was stupid and limiting, now with the new skills, new mindset, new direction, could be a catapult towards something else. So, like, we kind of talked about the way that I learned today, and this is how it went. He was like, what do you think about painting portraits? And I was like, no, that's just not something I want to do. And he was like, okay. He's like, okay, why? Or like, why are you coming to that conclusion? Because I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, well, the issue is when you ask, do you want to paint portraits? Like, my feelings and intuition goes, no, you don't. But then I started looking at, why was that my answer? Like, why do I not want to paint portraits? Why? And actually, like, when I was thinking about it that way, I was thinking it in the context of, like, I don't want to fucking do it. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take me a lot of time. Maybe my skill is not there yet. Do I even want to spend time to learn that skill, to hone that skill? Do I want to live in that kind of perfection idea? And I was like, no, I don't. Like, at no fucking point in time does me doing a portrait make sense. I said there's only 3 scenarios. One, I possibly could do a portrait of myself. I don't fucking want to. It's fucking weird. I don't want to stare at myself that long, but maybe I do need to do it. 2, I would paint portraits. If I was to do portraits, it would be animals for sure. And then 3, if it was a significant other, like, then I would obviously and will in the future. So I already know I'm gonna do portraits in the future. But like in the moment of now, no. But and all that looped up to me going like, well, I'm only gonna literally do that concept of portraits for something I love. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do it. And so, like, I could see if I have a partner, obviously, I'm gonna like them and love them and want to paint them or paint their bodies or whatever the fuck it is. I'm sure I'm be obsessive about it. So, yes, I already know I will. But that's just how I have to do things. Like, it's really weird. And obviously, but like as far as me wanting to paint portraits, no. And it's not. It's just like I just don't care anything about it. And then we kind of just talked about it a little bit. Like, well, I was like, you know what? I would do it once, maybe. But that's all. I need to watch somebody paint a portrait first. Like, I want to sit beside them and watch them. Just be silent. Just watch them paint a portrait. I was like, I will learn so much more by doing. That's how I learn. And then we kind of talked about like how I learned and stuff like that. And is there a new way for me to learn? And is that okay, right? Or is that the most beneficial way for me to learn is by sitting there watching somebody paint a portrait first, so I can watch the process of how they do things, and then I have like a head start of what it is that I want to do, because I do trial and error in everything that I do, and so then I want to watch somebody else trial and error, right? And see how they're doing it and see what works for them, and then like when I go into my first trial and error of a portrait, then I already have an idea of what it is that I'm going to do in the way that I do it. But it just saves me like a lot of time exploring. I don't know. I like to watch. And I don't want to watch on the computer somebody do it. I want to be in the room with them. I want to be in their energy. But that's the way I do things. I want to experience, not externally through a black mirror, but like I need to be in the presence of. That's what I want to do with everything. Like I want to experience everything, but I want to experience everything via in real life, not through the Matrix system or a Black Mirror. Because like the Black Mirror is such like a unrealistic idea. It's imaginary. It's fucking imaginary. It's fake. It's not real. I just disappear within these walls I created to survive all these long nights. No lie, all my energy been stolen from this cold life. Wonder what would happen if I don't fight. I mean, video games is kind of that, but at least you're getting to control the character. Like movies, you're not controlling. Anything that you can interact with is a little bit better, but at least you are experiencing. If you get to take part of it at least. You get to make decisions and choose and stuff like that. But anything else that's like video or playing, like then ultimately like that's ultimately you're watching somebody else live life and you're not even experiencing it yourself really. It's a one-sided relationship. It's weird. You're just a spectator. Which is weird. Like, now that you think about it, like, now that I think about it, like, you spectating the Kardashians is fucking weird. You spectating other people live is fucking weird. And I've done it. I've done it my whole life, spectating other people live, and it's fucking weird. It's actually really fucking embarrassing. Yeah, it's really fucking embarrassing. So then it's like, well, I just need to ingrain that thought, like how embarrassing and shameful it is to like spectate other people's lives. Like it's fucking weird, and like how not beneficial that is. And that's with me saying I want to sit in a room with somebody and watch them paint first. But that's what I'm saying. Like I only want to do it once. I only want to watch it once, and then I can go experience it. But I still need to be in the room with them. I need to be able to talk to them. I need to watch the process and be able to ask questions on why and how it is that they're doing what they're doing. But that means I get to experience it for real with them, not from a distance, but like in the same energy. I can see everything. I can see how the temperature is in the room. I can see how the lights are. I can feel how the lights are. I can feel the temperature. I can smell what they're smelling. Like I am experiencing it with them. I'm just not having to act out the process of the portrait because I'm just trying to learn and watch the layering process. To be honest with you, I just want to see how they layer it. Because I need to understand those processes. I need to understand how they're shading and stuff like that. I need a hands-on or eyes-on understanding and watch them build it. And like once I could do that once, then I could see that it's just a process, right? It's not this imaginary idea that takes years and years and years to experience or to learn. I can just watch that and I can correlate that from this point on forward. And that's just the way I see it. It doesn't mean it won't take me many tries to get good at it. I'll understand the process because I watched it. That's just me. Because I need to, so the way that I do things too is like, I can't be told what to do. It's just not a fucking thing. So like, therefore, I already know I need to be able to watch them, and then I can be told what to do because I'm not doing anything. So I'm not creating. So I can watch them and ask questions and them saying how they're doing it. And then I can go to my room by myself and do it without feeling belittled or less than or wrong. And like, that's just the traumas of me. And like, this is, you know, I told him today, like, this, I think it's gonna take me a while to process what we went through today. It's gonna take me time. I have to process it. It's not a quick thing for me. Like, I'm gonna have to go through every fucking scenario. I'm gonna have to go through every concept. Like, overthinking is an underthinking statement. Like, it's not even close. But whatever you think that overthinking is, like, no. Like, I am universal thinking and infinite possibilities of every arrangement of words that you said today and what their infinite possibilities of meanings mean. Like, and then how they all pertain to me in every possible scenario of pros and cons, positives and negatives. I'm wrong, I'm right, I'm wrong, I'm right, like I'm good, I'm bad, I'm enough, I'm not, like all these ideas. So yes, it takes me a little bit of time to fucking process things. But yeah, so I didn't even know that that's what I was trying to explain to him today. But now that I had some time away, now it's like, yeah, I want to watch in the room and ask questions on the layering process and the process of just doing a portrait and how they're doing it. And then I go by myself and I go trial and error it. You know, I get to explore with the freedom of no judgment from anybody else or feeling judgment, even though like that person could not be judging me at all. But I've just been programmed that everyone's judging me, right? Everyone has an opinion. That I need to create scenarios when the only judge is me. Because like I said, I just felt my whole life that like no matter what I did, unless I just surrendered to their ways, to their understandings, to their ideas, I just always got pressed back. I always got feedback, like negative feedback, and I was wrong, or I was stupid, or no. It's our way or the highway. And I told him today, dude. I was like, man, I remember when you told me I didn't have to answer. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? He was asking me questions, and he was like, you don't have to answer. I was like, what do you mean I don't have to answer? He's like, no. He's like, I'm just saying things. I'm asking questions, but you don't have to answer them. I was like, dude, I was never taught that. Ever. My whole life. Never. I never knew it was acceptable to, like, not have a fucking answer. Because, like, my mom, yeah, holy shit. Because, like, I didn't have answers a lot. I did not know. I didn't know. My mom's like, no, you have to have an answer. I'm asking you a fucking question. You have to have an answer. I'm like, I don't know. And like, my mom's like, that's not a fucking answer. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, no, it's a fucking answer. I don't know. It's like, no, you have to answer that. And so, like, 35 years, 25 years later, when a grown man's, like, asking me questions, and he's like, you don't fucking have to answer. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't have to answer. What the fuck do you mean I don't have to answer? I was programmed that I have to have a fucking answer. Because an answer, like not having an answer, is not fucking acceptable. And now I just feel like fucking embarrassed. Because like I knew that. And I talked about it before, but I never correlated the two ideas. But like it was the same thing with anyone and everyone. It's like if you don't have an answer, then you just cater to them, right? Because you get them to shut the fuck up. Like that's the point. Like they're assholes, and like they're trying to make you bend to their will. And so like the easiest way to do is, you know what, you're right. That's the answer. Or whatever way that you're trying to persuade me or trick me or manipulate me, yeah, you're right. Because that's the easy way out. It's just a power move from them. And control. It's all about control, man. Because they can't control themselves. Therefore, they're going to control anything that they can. And that's you. You don't have to have an answer. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean, bro? Like, you know, it's so cool. And I look at myself today, like, I get confused a lot between communication. And so I think the thing that I do now is, like, can you explain that again? Can you reword that? Like, what is the meaning? Like, what does that word mean? And I ask that a lot. I ask him a lot. And, because I go blank a lot. Like, when I'm communicating with people, I have to get them to communicate like what it is they're trying to tell me or ask me. And I think maybe like when I was younger I felt embarrassed about that, but now it's like I don't, because I'm trying to get a better bridge between me and him, like so I can answer the question or think of the question the way that the question's being asked. Like I need to know like what you truly mean or what the group of words mean together. Because I asked, yeah, like today we were together probably 5 hours, and like I asked him that many times, like, can you reword that, or what does this mean, or what does that mean, or what's the definition of this, like what are you implying this means, before we even like get into the rest of the question, because it's like I don't understand. It's like I need to know the basis of an understanding before I can even logically think about this process. I need to know like what it is that you're asking. And then it's cool because then like he doesn't belittle me, and like I hope that I'm not trying to belittle him, and we're just like there for, like I said, for max growth, max potential, and like we're just trying to help each other by asking ourselves questions first, but using the other person as that vessel to bounce things off of. And that's what we talked about again today, was just remembering that like everything that we say when we're with other people is like we have to take that to accountability first. So that's advice for us. And I mentioned this a lot, going like every time I'm with human beings, like anything, they ask questions, right, that evoke knowledge and wisdom to come out of me, and then I respond. Well, those words that come out of my mouth, they are from me first, meaning I have to be able to hold myself accountable to those things. I have to do what it is that those things say, right? I have to believe in it. And then once you start to live like that, you start to limit the things that you say and the way that you say them to other people. Like when you give advice, like I said, a lot of times, like I start every statement with like, this is my opinion, or this is what I would do, based on the scenario that you presented before me. However, this is just from my previous experience. This is just another perspective. I'm not telling you to do or not to do. I'm just giving you like another perspective to add into your bank of information, to use or not use. Take it as a grain of salt, you know. And he even said that today. It's like, you know, and I tend to say that a lot. It's like, don't listen to me, really. I'm just talking here. Like, you're the one who's going to implement have to deal with your actions. And it's really only going to affect you. Your actions are going to affect you. So, like, I can't really tell you to do or not do anything. And if I do, and you listen to that without checking yourself first, like, that's ignorant. To blindly follow me is ignorant. To blindly follow another human being is ignorant. Like, take everything in as a grain of salt. Look at it, use it, put it up in another scenario that you've lived in before, and then go from there. But like, never take anybody else's word or experience or idea and just blindly follow it. Make sure you check it first. Make sure you look at it first, because you gotta live with yourself and your actions. And at the end of the day, it's just you. At the end of the day, it's just your perspective and your outcomes and your repercussions for your actions. So take in as much wisdom and knowledge that you can. Act. And then just remember, if you blindly follow anyone, that's dumb as shit. I holla. Love y'all. Peace.
Homies say they love me, but they ain't even reached out. So I think maybe everyone's going through it themselves. And if they strong enough to fight it, then I should learn that myself. So I keep quiet, wear a smile, even though they don't know what's behind it. And when I'm in a better place, I'm sure I'll be reminded of why I shouldn't be. I hate it, but that's how my mind is. But I come to find that everyone's trying to hold hold tight. Nobody can hear when my soul cries. I just disappear within these walls I created to survive all these long nights. No lie, all my energy been stolen from this cold life. Wonder what would happen if I don't fight. Trying to tell myself that I'll be alright. So I promise that I'ma hold tight, even if it can't hear when my soul cries. I just disappear into these walls I created to survive all these long nights. I'm so tired. All my energy been stolen from this cold life. Wonder what would happen if I don't fight. Trying to tell myself that I'll be alright, give it more time. On this road of twists and turns, all I want's to stay aligned. Sick of feeling like my purpose is to try and stay alive. Waiting for my time to flourish, I'm done standing in this line. Dig my way up out this grave I dug from years of playing blind. You ask for strength, so the why you expect life is gonna be easy. Ask for peace, but you only know the difference when it start feeling like your world is closing in. You hit the bottom and meet your demons. In the moment you're in hell, but the other side gives it its reason. Held tight but grit, slip went down a route that's hard to shake. Met addiction and she found me at a time when I need saving. Life's a trip that never stops, God not supposed to give us breaks. We learn to move as we go through it, so I feel when you say I've been trying to hold tight. Nobody can hear when my soul cries. I just disappear within these walls I created to survive all these long nights. No lie, all my energy been stolen from this cold life. Wonder what would happen if I don't fight. Trying to tell myself that I'll be alright. So I promise that I'ma hold tight, even if it can't hear when my soul cries. I just disappear into these walls I created to survive all these long nights. I'm so tired. All my energy been stolen from this cold life. Wonder what would happen if I don't fight. Trying to tell myself that I'll be alright, give it more time. Balancing these low by getting so high. Tricked me into thinking I was alright. Took me everything to let it go. I lost out on a lot, wish I had more time. Life gon' play us wrong, and we're not supposed to understand it all. So I promise that I'ma hold tight, even if it can't hear when my soul cries. I just disappear into these walls I created to survive all these long nights. I'm so tired. All my energy been stolen from this cold life. Wonder what would happen if I don't fight. Trying to tell myself that I'll be alright, give it more